Hey there everybody, welcome back. I am Rashida A. Marshall. Thank you so much for tuning in. For today's video, we are going to be talking about the pelvic floor, a very important part of our bodies, especially for women and especially during pregnancy. A lot of times we may forget about our pelvic floor or maybe not give it the attention that it deserves in terms of going through certain exercises and connecting to it. But during pregnancy, it becomes much more present and we become more aware of it. And during pregnancy as well as afterwards and even before, it's really key that we do what we can to understand how it works, put ourselves through different exercises and techniques that help for us to connect to it better, and then also maintain its strength and endurance, again, before, during, and after pregnancy. So in this video, I wanted to just provide a quick overview as to what it is, how it works, and share some ways that we can work to maintain its strength. So our pelvic floor is a collection of connective tissue, muscles, tendons, ligaments, and blood vessels that are all interwoven together and tied to our pelvis, connected to our pelvis. It's connected in the front to our pubic bone, in the back to our tailbone, and then on the sides at our sits bones or our ischiotuberosities. I like to say that's a technical term for it. And the pelvic floor works together to support our pelvic organs, so our rectum, bladder, and then of course our uterus, and especially the uterus during pregnancy. And it also works alongside the respiratory diaphragm, the multifidus, and the abdomen or the core during pregnancy to support the tension of our core, maintain that tension as the belly expands. And it also works to stabilize the pelvis and the spine during pregnancy. So it's a key part in all of those four components working together to help with the adaptations that are going on during pregnancy. Our pelvic floor also plays a part in urinary incontinence, so preventing pee from coming out when we are running, jumping, when we sneeze, cough, things like that. And it also plays a part in our sexual response, so helping for our orgasms to be more intense and different aspects of that, which we're not going to go into today, but it's something to keep in mind. So during pregnancy, our pelvic floor goes through a lot of changes, or there's a lot of different aspects that will put more pressure and strain on it. So for one, you have the shift in our posture. So with the pelvis being able to maybe tilt forward, or sometimes it tilts backwards depending on how that woman's body is adapting and how she may be compensating, how her body may be compensating, then you will put more strain on the pelvic floor because it's not in its neutral or its ideal position with that tilt. So that's one aspect that can throw it off balance. Another aspect of pregnancy that will really affect the pelvic floor is the changes in the hormones that's going on in a woman's body. And some of those changes will cause for there to be more laxity within the joints of the woman's body. So she'll become more flexible and there's just more movement, ligamentous laxity, which is preparing the body for the arrival of the baby, preparing to allow the baby to enter into the world. So because the pelvis will have more range of motion, you could say, it will cause the pelvic floor to work harder to maintain that stability. And that's another reason why being able to work on strengthening it and connecting to it and being aware will help with those types of changes. So when we think about ways that we can work our pelvic floor and connect with it and keep it strong, we want to think of working it from an endurance perspective, and then we also want to think of working it from a strength and stamina and power type of perspective. So if you think of the length of time that a labor may be, labor can be 3 hours for some women, it's real quick. For others, it might be, 10, 20, 25 hours, whatever the case is. So it's definitely an endurance type of experience, an endurance type of event. So being able to prepare your pelvic floor through different breathing exercises and different Kegel exercises and just being connected to it will help once you get to your labor. And then if we go back and we think of instances such as when you sneeze or when you cough, if you jump, preparing for once the baby is born and you work your way back into more intense physical activity once your body is ready and you start incorporating high impact activities again, you want your pelvic floor to be able to respond fast to those different movements. So when you sneeze, for it to be able to prevent any leakage. Same thing with jumping, same thing with running, and just day-to-day movements where you're moving, quick and sharp or whatever the case is, being able to function as it should. So those are some different ways that we want to make sure that we are constantly working and thinking about our pelvic floor and its health and its strength. So pregnancy is one of the #1 reasons as to why a lot of women may experience pelvic floor dysfunction, such as pelvic organ prolapse, incontinence, and different things that will really affect a woman's life if she's dealing with it. If you're dealing with any of those things, it's highly recommended that you meet with a physical therapist, and especially someone who is trained in pelvic floor dysfunction so that they can guide you through the appropriate exercises and movements that would be beneficial to help with dealing with that. But there are many things that we can do as women that can help to prevent pelvic floor dysfunction, and things that can be done from the beginning of pregnancy all the way up to labor, and even movements that can be done as soon as a day has gone by after giving birth, things that you can start doing that require you just lay down and rock your hips from side to side and things like that. So I wanted to share some of those different tips that are great to think about and incorporate as it pertains to being aware and connected to our pelvic floor and protecting it in as many ways as possible. So one thing is to prevent high impact activity. As mentioned, there's already a lot of strain that is going on as it pertains to the pelvic floor in pregnancy. So low impact movements, low impact exercise is going to be very beneficial. Taking out a lot of running, a lot of jumping, just any movement that is going to be very impactful for the body, and aiming for low impact movements is really good to do. You can also work on deep breathing. That is a big one, because while you're going through your deep breathing exercises, you can really take time to focus in on creating tension and release, kind of like a lift and a let go, creating space and then closing off that space and really getting connected with how that feels, so that you'll be able to tie in that feeling when you're doing your other exercises, when you're moving into actually giving going into your labor and giving birth, and just on a day-to-day basis when you're sitting down and going throughout your activities, being able to implement that as much as possible and understanding what that feels like for you. Stretch and release work is also very key. Being able to especially pay attention to the hamstrings, the calves, the glutes. Tightness in those areas can create a shift in your posture. So it might cause for you to tuck, your tailbone may tuck, and then vice versa. If your your lower back is very tight, it may cause for more of a forward tilt of the pelvis. And that will again throw the pelvic floor out of balance and will not allow for it to function optimally as it should. So releasing tension as much as you can, going through different stretches that are comfortable, and making that a regular part of your routine will also help with your pelvic floor function. Wearing flat shoes or minimal shoes is also another way that we are able to protect our pelvic floor during pregnancy. Wearing flat shoes will allow for you to maintain more of a neutral positioning of your pelvis during pregnancy, and in general, wearing, good supported shoes and things like that. When we're in heels, there tends to be a tilt forward, and because you're tilted forward, you will overcompensate by kind of tucking and going backwards to keep you in an ideal position, and all of that is throwing your pelvic floor out of balance. So during pregnancy especially is a very important time to think of wearing flat shoes or being barefoot as much, so that you can be in more of a natural positioning for you. Another great technique is to prepare your body and your pelvic floor to be in different positions of labor. So depending on where you intend to give birth, there may be, or the environment that you intend to give birth in, there may be limitations or more freedom as it relates to what position you'll be in when it's time to really go into labor. But moving through those positionings on all four positions, being on your side, squatting if you're able to move into that position comfortably, and anything else that you would want to implement into your birthing process will be beneficial. And incorporating your pelvic floor exercises and working through some of those breathing techniques while you're in those different birthing positions will also help for your pelvic floor to adjust better and work as it should, or work more optimally once you're actually giving birth. So you can kind of play around with that at your leisure as you're going through those different exercises and techniques to see how they feel, and again, get your pelvic floor acclimated to those different positions and movements. So those are all the tips that I wanted to share with you all today regarding the pelvic floor. Again, a quick overview regarding what it is, how it works, and how it shifts during pregnancy, and different things that can be done during pregnancy and even before and afterwards that are beneficial and can help with those changes that are going on. So I will be making a video that goes through a couple movements that you can do on a stability ball or laying down on a mat, which will help for you to connect more with your pelvic floor and be able to incorporate some of those things throughout your day-to-day activities. So thank you all, as always, for tuning in and watching. I hope you all learned something new today, and I'll be back with another video. Bye.